What is up, you beautiful gems, you? Today's an exciting one because I'm going to introduce to you my brand new to me 2019 540i. I'm going to tell you why I bought it, what else I was looking at, what I came from, what I love about it, what I'm not so stoked on, what I'm going to change probably very soon, and what I need to fix right now. Is this the ultimate daily driver for the money today? So stick around and let's just have some fun. And if you enjoy any of this, please consider liking and subscribing. It means the world to me, and I'm trying to grow like a beautiful something. What's up, you guys? Welcome to the channel. Thanks for being here. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey and I normally review the things I love. And today, that's my 2019 G30 540i. I haven't done any automotive content really on my channel, but that's gonna change because now I have a car that I consider a project and I'm gonna be doing a lot of things to this car. So stick around if you own or are looking to buy one of these because I wanna be a source of value for any and all G30 owners out there. So first things first, I love this car. I'm so happy to be in a BMW again. What I had previously to this was a 2018 Mercedes C43. And it was a cool car. It was fun, it was sporty. I didn't post any videos on it because I didn't really mod it that much. I put an intake on it, I did like ambient lights because it only had 3 colors and I wanted 64 colors, and like, that was kind of it, dude. It was very minimal. But the reason why I got rid of it is because it was way too stiff. Like, maybe I'm getting old, and it sucks. But the ride in general, the suspension was it wasn't compliant at all. Like, M cars in general, they're stiffer, but they're compliant. The suspension on the C43 was just so crashy, man. Anyway, I wanted to move on to something different, and I was looking around, and I wanted a Beamer again, because before the C43, I had an F30. It was a 328. And that was a cool car. I actually did a stage 1 flash tune from boot mode. I did side skirts, spoiler lip, installed the BAV sound speaker set, installed the BAV sound amp. I did a lot to that car. The issue that I had with that is ultimately, it wasn't my car. I spent so much money modding it because I was chasing something. And what I was chasing was a feeling that I wasn't gonna get out of that F30. Great car. If you guys have that car, kudos to you, it just wasn't the right one for me. And before that, I had a 2003 E39 M5, and I missed that car dearly. That was my daily driver, and ultimately I had to sell it during COVID because I didn't have a job at the time. And man, everything was breaking on that car. Every time I couldn't fix a problem, like I was able to do, camshaft position sensors, and I was able to take the Vanos boards out, send them to Dr. Vanos in Texas, and have him resolder and do those things. But when it came to more advanced issues that I couldn't diagnose myself, I had to send it to a specialized shop, and I always made a joke, it was $5,000 every time. Every time it went to that shop, it was 5,000 bucks. Money, please. So I had to let it go, and it was sad, but it was time. That leads me to this 540i. Immediately I knew when I decided to sell the C43 that I wanted a BMW again. I wanted a BMW. I wanted to get back into modifying again. I wanted to get back into just the community and aftermarket support of BMW. To me, is second to none. Like, the amount of information you can find on forums is insane. Everyone has a DIY of everything you could possibly think of, and I miss a project. And I think that's why I didn't have my previous 2 cars on this channel, is because neither one of them really felt like a project to me, like a project that I wanted to pursue an end goal with. So I was like, okay, BMW, cool. The 5 Series for me, for whatever reason, has always just spoken to me. I like that it's a little bit bigger. I like that it's more of like, for lack of a better term, it's like an old school German muscle car. And I didn't want something small. You know, I'm not gonna track this car. My goal with it is not to make it a canyon carver. What I was looking for was just a comfortable daily driver that had a lot of cool tech, including Apple CarPlay, and that was fun to drive, engaging to drive. So the first model I was checking out was actually the M550. The M550, I think, is an awesome car. It sounds brutal. It's a twin turbo V8. I love V8s, and I was really excited to kind of delve into that world and pick one up. I finally got to test drive one, and it made me realize how much I love the 5 Series in general. But when I was driving it, I just kept thinking to myself, what is it that I really love about this car? Is it the engine, or is it the 5 Series? And also on that test drive, I was asking myself, do I really need this much power? I mean, obviously, everyone always wants more power. But truthfully, like, the car is about 20% more money than a 540i. And the reality is, I'm never gonna be able to use all that horsepower. You know, the torque, obviously, yeah, when I'm getting on the freeway or when I do wanna hit up Angela's Crest, I can use it then, but otherwise, how usable is it really in day-to-day driving? And the answer is, unless I wanna go to prison, the answer is not really at all. So then it kind of made me rethink my options, and I was like, the 540i. And then I got stoked because I'm like, the B58. Man. This thing is fast, dude. This is a fast car. The B58 is like BMW's crown jewel. It is such an amazing platform, and you can make so much power with pretty minimal modifications. Now, I know I just said, hey, but the M550, you get all the power, you're not gonna use it. Yeah, forget all that. Because even if I do get a ton more power out of this engine, I can still get good gas mileage when I'm stuck in traffic. Like, to be honest, I normally am most of the time in my life, which sucks. It's like BMW's final, like, this is the inline 6-cylinder. We mastered it, and here it is. And I'm telling you guys, if you've never experienced one, and this is, by the way, very stock. This car is stock right now, but that's gonna change. But if you've never experienced a B58, it's smooth, it's so powerful. This was the second 540i that I checked out in person. When I drove the first 540i, I put it in Sport Plus and I punched it, and it actually, like, it gave me that roller coaster feeling in my gut, and I was like, holy shit, this is all I need. This is all I need, and yeah, it doesn't have the sound, which we'll talk about later, but dude, as far as a starting point, it's incredible. So once I knew I was gonna get a 540, the necessary specs for me, first and foremost, the M package. I definitely knew I wanted the M package. In a perfect world, I would get the M adaptive suspension, but I found that very difficult to find on the 540s. They were all over the place with the M550s, but the 540, I didn't find a single one with the adaptive suspension. The second most important option to me was adaptive cruise control. I had to have it. So I was looking around for a while, and I found this car. And this car is pretty well spec'd. It has the M Sport package. I mean, first of all, the color combo, mwah. It has peanut butter guts, and I love peanut butter guts. I'm a huge fan of this color combination.
Does it feel good?
It had the M package, but more importantly, it had adaptive cruise control. That was also another really hard combination to find. There was a ton of 540 M packages out there, but hardly any of them. In fact, I think I only found 2 that had the adaptive cruise control. So that was the most important combination to me. What's missing in this car that I wish I did have was the 360 cam and the parking assist, because it's pretty cool. I had that on the C43, and the 360 camera option is really, really clutch. But don't worry, I think I found a way to retrofit it, and that's gonna be a future project on this channel, so stay tuned. So the things that I love about this car. I said it before, the M package is awesome. The suspension, I was afraid it was gonna be stiff because some people were saying in the forums that it rides a bit firm and it's stiff and unforgiving and blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm here to tell you that I have 20-inch wheels, I have shitty run flats, and I have the M suspension, and it is awesome. Is it firm? Yeah, it's firm, but it's also really compliant. And I have crappy roads out here. And even with those, none of it bothers me. at all. I would trade the performance the suspension gives me any day over the loss and comfort that I have. That said, in the future, I'm gonna experiment maybe with a higher sidewall tire. Definitely not gonna go run flats, and I think that'll help a little bit, but to be honest, as is, it's fine. So that being said, if any of you are on the fence because of the suspension, unless you're coming from like an S-Class or a 7 Series, or you're after the most luxurious ride, then yeah, it's probably not for you. But if you're an enthusiast, like I'm assuming all of you watching are, and I 100% am, you're gonna wanna get the M package. What's also cool is I even get M illuminated door sills, which I think is just so cool. You know, like it's not a true M car, but BMW still does a good job of making it feel special. The second thing I love, it's a 2019 Beamer. The tech is still pretty much up to date. I mean, it has Apple CarPlay, though I couldn't get full screen CarPlay. I'm gonna release another video on that later. It wasn't as simple as using Beamer code to just unlock full screen because I had an old version of the map. And I'll release a video on how I did that later. But yeah, it has CarPlay. CarPlay works great. It connects super fast. Another thing I love is the Harman Kardon sound system. This thing kicks ass. Like, it's a great system. I know there's a lot of complaints out there with maybe newer model BMWs and their Harman Kardon systems are lacking. The C43 I had the Burmester sound system and it was good. This is better. This sounds a lot better. The bass is a lot better. I do need to add in my 10-inch JL sub, and I'm gonna release a video on that as well because I'm gonna do a very cool install with that. But it doesn't really even need the 10-inch. It's just I like to have a sub because I like music. Then it's other things that I love about this car that's like the more luxury level. So the car has soft closed doors, which I think is so cool. I mean, like, do I need them? No. It's one of those things where when you have soft closed doors, you're like, oh, this is the move. Like, how did I not have soft closed doors? Something else I love that came with this car is a digital gauge cluster. I love analog gauges, but I do love having a digital gauge cluster just because I think it's cool. It's like, again, it's a daily driver. I wanted it to feel modern. I wanted the tech to feel not old, and this definitely doesn't feel old, and it's the pre-LCI model. So it still has the older style gauges, but dude, like, I don't know, man, I just love it. I think it's great. Something else you get with this car that I friggin' love, I have a wireless phone charger. Boom. This car is so efficient, like as long as you're not flooring it everywhere. I'm averaging around 20, and that's with the traffic that I'm doing all the time. So it's good, it's solid, especially for the amount of power I have. The ride's compliant, and also it is so quiet. It is such a quiet ride in here. It's unreal. Like, this noise isolation in this 5 Series is just fantastic. Now I have the benefits of the M Sport suspension. I have a compliant ride. It's sporty, and speaking of sporty, I'm gonna hit a little twisty road up by where I live to kind of show you. And this is where the fun starts. I'm gonna hit the sport button and just the drama is gonna go nuts. Oh man, dude, this is a big, heavy car. And I'm not like going all out because there's people around and I'm not trying to catch a fine here. But this is a big, heavy car, and it's fine. Like, it handles so good, and it's all stock still. I haven't done anything to it. I haven't lowered it or anything yet. It's just a great ride, man. And I love it. The steering is weighted pretty decent in Sport Plus mode. It's not like it's not an M car, so it's not gonna give you insane amounts of feedback. But again, what I'm trying to make this car be, which is the ultimate daily machine, it's perfect, man. It's exactly what I wanted. Okay, so now let's get into things that I'm not so stoked on with the car. I made a joke about drama because there basically is none. There's like no drama with this car. Yeah, in Sport Plus, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. The throttle mapping is actually, again, from stock, it's pretty good. I can't wait to see what it feels like in a Stage 1 flash tune. But it's the exhaust, man. I hear nothing. And I really miss being able to put it in Sport Plus and hearing something. I love a Jekyll and Hyde element to any car that I own, especially the ones that I daily. And this doesn't really have much Hyde at all. I would say it's like right now 80% Jekyll and 20% Hyde. I'm looking more for like a 65-70% Jekyll and 35-30% Hyde. Is that how math works? So exhaust is definitely on the short list to get for this car. It needs it bad. I hear nothing and I need to hear something. And what's funny is with this stock exhaust, I mean, like I'm telling you guys, it's quiet. It's valved from the factory. I can't even really tell when the valve's all the way open. I can't tell. You can't hear anything. Hey! If only there was a company out there that made a good exhaust at an affordable price. So something else I'm not super stoked on with the car, and I'm going to figure out how to address this with coding, and I will definitely share what that is. But the previous owner, luckily, tinted the windows, and they're not super dark. I would imagine they're like 35% all around, which to me is perfect, including the front windows. The ambient light sensor in my gauges is like super sensitive. So I'll be driving around in daylight like this. I just see the brightness on my gauges in my iDrive screen just go super dim. And I'm like, what the fuck's that all about? And then it'll just fluctuate, and it's annoying. But a lot of times it defaults to dim because that ambient light sensor thinks it's a lot darker than it is. So I need to address that. But there is a part of my body that has one huge problem with my car. Can you guess what it is?
My ass.
That's right. These sport seats, unfortunately, the seat bottoms are not comfortable for me. The backs are great. The headrest is perfect. The seat bottoms, the bolstering that they have is pretty aggressive. I like to spread Seagull when I'm driving because I'm 6'3", and I have a 34 inseam, so my legs need to kind of naturally split to fit in any car I'm in. And dude, it just jams into my hips, and after about 45 minutes, it starts to hurt. It's not as bad as the seats I had at my C43, but it's still bad. And that is my next mission. So overall, is this car fast? Yes. Could it be faster? Yes. Is it comfortable? Not yet. But once I fix the seat bottom, it's gonna be awesome. Is it luxurious? 100%. It has all the luxury features I could want. And I just think BMW nailed the design with the G30. It's a classic sedan look. What I'm gonna be doing on the exterior, I wanna do a bunch of subtle mods. I'm not trying to drench this thing in carbon fiber. I'm not trying to make it look like a track weapon. I just want it to look like my own. I want it to look like my car, which means I want it to look cool. I want it to look understated. And I want people to look at it and be like, damn, girl. Overall, man, like I said, I love this car. I think it's awesome. I think it's such a good value in the market today. If you're looking for a car right now and you're looking for a sedan, I would 100% recommend you check out the 540i. And this is gonna be a fun project, you guys. I cannot wait to show you what my plans are for this car. I'm gonna be releasing a lot more content. And for all of you who are following me, who are used to me reviewing electronics or consumer goods, I might still do that every once in a while, and I really appreciate all the comments and likes and support you guys offer me. But I've always loved automotive, and I'm just so excited to make automotive content for my channel, and I hope you guys love it, honestly. I just love making these videos and I have fun doing them. So hopefully this adds some value to you, hopefully you enjoyed it, and until next time, have a good one.